Apple TV Plus dropped their new television series today called The Silo. But should you give it a go? Welcome to Scitrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So it's fair to say I am not a massive fan of sort of post-apocalyptic, high-concept sci-fi. Even some of the more popular stuff like, say, Blade Runner. I think it's clever. I can appreciate the thought that goes into it, and I can really appreciate the art. But I don't find them particularly interesting. I find them a little boring. Now, this new TV series, The Silo, dropping on Apple Plus today with its first 3 episodes, is 100% a high-concept post-apocalyptic story. But it's way, way more than that. And I'm going to tell you, with a few little spoilers, so be prepared, all about the first episode and ask the question, should you watch it? So first of all, a little bit of the background. So this was actually based on the Wool series by Hugh Howey. It was first bought for the television rights by 20th Century Fox in 2012. Ridley Scott and Steve Zaillian were going to run it. That didn't happen after Disney bought 20th Century Fox, and it sort of fizzled out. 2018, though, AMC got hold of the rights, and LaToya Morgan was going to develop, but that kind of fizzled out too. Apple got hold of the rights, and Graham Yost was brought on to write. So first of all, straight off the bat, my first instinct is they've Appled this. What we expect from Apple are big stars, big names, actors you know. Yeah, all the way through this. There's some brilliant actors. Rebecca Ferguson is probably going to be the lead actress. She is great in most things I've seen her in. Obviously, we know her best from the Mission Impossible movies. David Oyelowo, which is a name I can't quite say, plays the sheriff. He's, again, a British actor that I know from lots of things over in the UK. He appears in a lot of BBC dramas. He's a phenomenally good actor. And Rashida Jones, who plays Alison, his wife, is also just amazing in this. She has a really, really difficult part. Spoiler, she is trying to have a baby in this and they fail. And basically, the way she reacts to that and deals with it, it does pull on the heartstrings. So what is actually going on in this series, in this first episode? Well, as I said, they start asking questions immediately. In the first few seconds, you wonder, what is the sheriff doing with the air vent? What is he doing with the flowers? What's the note? Just everything. And then it flashes back 3 years. We then see the sheriff with his wife, Alison, and they're trying to have a baby. Now, in this, again, it's a very, very controlled society they live in within the silo, this bunker that they're protected from the outside world with. The outside world being poisonous, and even in spacesuits, you die almost instantly if you go outside. So, to have a baby, you have to actually apply. And then you get, as part of a lottery, by luck, you get picked to even have the chance of having a baby. You then basically get 12 months to see if you can get pregnant. If you don't, you don't. For the rest of the time, you have a contraceptive device inserted inside you that's not very nice. Now, all the way through this first episode, the concept of freedom is explored in a couple of different ways, and the illusion of freedom. Now, in this case, they see that they are being allowed to have a baby, and that is purely by luck. It's a lottery. But is that actually the way it is? Or are certain people selected to be allowed to have kids and others not? In this case, the lottery and this freedom to then at least try is a complete illusion. And at no point was actually Alison going to be allowed to have a baby because she's not the right sort of person. She's too free thinking. They're actually trying to breed out that, and they're trying to breed out any future rebellion. So we find out as well that actually the number one rule within the silo is that you do not ask to go outside. If you do ask to go outside and anyone hears you say it, you get to go. And that's basically a death sentence. If you get caught trying to dig into the past of the silo that was wiped out in a rebellion 140 years before this was set, then also you get to go outside. It's basically the biggest punishment for any criminal. You get to go outside and clean the sensors that project images of the outside world to everybody else within the silo. A pretty horrible image of the outside world, by the way. All the way through as well, it is hinted that there is a government above the silo, this judiciary, this potentially this pact. And we don't really get to see, I don't think, who is actually in charge of this. The brilliant actor Tim Robbins has a very, very small part in the very first episode. I suspect we're going to see him a lot more in later episodes. I think he is to do with actually who's in charge of this and not the main sort of leader that we get to see. The main leader we get to see is very upset when the Alison character actually is forced to go outside and then die. You can't fake that. She is beside herself with remorse and guilt. So again, there's that illusion of freedom. You can ask to go outside if you want to, but if you ask to go outside, you'll be allowed to and you'll die. So again, illusion of freedom. So is this high concept? Is this a post-apocalyptic story? Yes, it is. Of course it is. But it's also a murder mystery. It's a political intrigue mystery. And it's very high intense drama. It's got an excellent budget and an excellent cast. So should you watch it? If you've got Apple TV, 100% you're already going to be watching it. They've been advertising this like crazy, haven't they? It's literally everywhere. It's all over IMDb. It's all over our screen. It's even been advertised on the cinemas, etc. here in the UK. If you've got Apple TV, 100% you should watch it, and I am certain you will enjoy it. If you haven't got Apple TV, should you think about getting it for this series? To be honest, it is that good. I would suggest any big sci-fi fan would enjoy this. The things that I like about it are it's going to be big mystery, but it's based on a novel series. So thinking about series like Lost, they set up all this mystery. We all wondered what the hell was going on. But they obviously didn't really have a plan because it sort of wandered and was a victim of its own success. And in the end, you just think, what was that all about? Well, with this series, I think there will be a conclusion. There will be something that makes sense because there's a plan, because the books have already been written. So, for one, that's a bonus. For two, Apple have really spent the money. It is a very visually pretty series, and you won't be disappointed from that point of view. The actors are excellent. You won't be disappointed from that point of view. So really, that's a perfect storm. It's the trifecta. My advice, if you haven't got Apple TV, but you can get sort of a free trial, wait for this series to finish, get the free trial, binge it. It's worth it. Should you pay to get Apple TV to get it? If you want to watch Ted Lasso and films like Ghosted, which was actually on a moment, Chris Evans is in it. He's also great. It's a very good film, actually. Then, yeah, get it, pay for it for a month, binge all these things, and then maybe get rid of it. To be honest, if I'm 100% honest about Apple TV, there's not enough content on there to pay for it and keep it. Get it for a month, cancel it as soon as you're done. Binge Ted Lasso, binge a couple of the movies that are on there that are really good. There's a series called Shrinked on there at the moment, which is actually pretty good. Harrison Ford's in it with a few others. Binge the stuff that's on there, but then get rid of it. Get it again in 12 months' time, sort of thing. There's just not enough on there to actually warrant keeping it sort of long term. There just isn't. So get into the comments, guys. Tell me what you think. Have you got Apple TV? Have you seen the first couple of episodes of this? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Is it worth a go? Or actually, are you not getting Apple TV for this sort of show? You're just going to maybe hope this is released on DVD, which it might be. And in that case, give it a go then. It's worth it. Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/Scitrek, where you get to see most of our videos first. And for a small contribution each month, you get to see them without the adverts. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.